Hey, everybody. Welcome to the morning market briefing. It's Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. Hope you're doing well out there. War is back, Tom, Ben. Trump saying, as far as he's concerned, the memorandum of understanding and the associating ceasefire, it's over. He does not want to deal with them. Tensions escalating quickly, market reacting quickly. Really the only story of the day in a lot of ways, but obviously a consequential one. I feel like we were in such a good groove. We had just gotten past having to talk about the World Cup. We weren't having to talk about the war, and now we're just back to war talk. But Ben, how do you kind of assess this situation militaristically first, and then we'll get to the economic impact?
I mean, I think we're just kind of in the same zone that we were before, and I think it's going to be, actually, we didn't mean to fire on those cargo ships, and you responded, and we pretend there's a ceasefire, and there's not really a ceasefire. And I think at the end of the day, Iran is rebelling against potentially losing this leverage of controlling the Strait of Hormuz, and they don't want to lose that. They think that it's gone too fast. If I was from their perspective, I would have kind of signed this agreement thinking, yeah, we can still control the strait. And then once people start to get comfortable with it, they're just sailing through, and they're trying to reassert their dominance of it by shooting ships, which isn't going to end well. I don't think they're really necessarily thinking a couple steps ahead here.
I don't know that they care. I mean, they have to know it's not going to end well. It's amazing to me, Tom, that they did not take the quote-unquote political victory despite massive decimation.
I mean, I still maintain that we should have done the nuclear option 3 months ago. I said it then, I said it now. The only way these people are going to learn is the back of your hand. I mean, here's the thing, is that the core tenets of what their government/religion is loyalty and enmity, which is that you must be fiercely loyal to the religion, and the enmity piece is you must fiercely hate anyone who is not. And so, I mean, that's what you're dealing with. I mean, those are the core tenets, loyalty and enmity, and it applies to all things. And it has to do with when you sign a contract, you have to maintain that enmity, which means that you don't have to honor that contract, and you can do whatever it is that you want to anyone as long as they're not on your side. And that's what you're going to continue to have until you put them in a position where they absolutely have no ability to facilitate that enmity.
It was interesting hearing Trump talk, Ben, because he sounded exasperated. It sounded like, I would say, like the exhausted parent, where it's like, I just don't even know what to do with this kid. We just got to get him to bed. Mm-hmm. But what struck me about it is tonally it seemed completely exasperated, and yet the things he was saying all were things that we've heard before. And I wouldn't say that this is necessarily out of character for the Iranian regime.
No, I mean, I think tinfoil hat, why did Iran want to sign the deal initially was probably because they needed to get oil out of the country, and they couldn't get the oil out of the country. They were going to have to cap the wells. And so now they've gotten some out. They've pushed a lot of oil out, some from other countries as well, but a lot of Iranian oils hit the market. So they've kind of increased their coffers, and now they feel like they're in a good spot again, and now they have leverage because now they have more storage capacity that they can, if they did get blockaded for a while, they could start loading up on that.
So let's blow it up.
I think that, I mean, I just think we're probably in this quagmire, and we're probably going to be in it for a long period of time.
Do you think anything's politically different? It does seem like Trump has a little bit more separation from the Israeli component, given that, it was an American cargo ship that was targeted. Do you think this changes how NATO thinks about things and potential involvement? Do you think this changes the fervor with which strikes could come from the U.S.?
I think NATO is upset about it and more aligned with Trump than initially. But even in the UK, you've got a prime minister that's on his way out. Spain, Trump has attacking Spain right now this morning because they're not doing anything.
Called them hopeless.
NATO itself is considering just canceling next year's summit because they don't want to, deal with the
They don't want to get
TV, in public. So, I mean, on one hand, you'd think that NATO should be more aligned with trying to get this figured out. On the other hand, I don't know if they will be. They've got a lot. And Marine Le Pen is running for election in France next year. So
And she's the odds-on favorite as of yesterday.
She's
so,
back.
I mean, that's you're seeing this move away from the softness in the West, and I hope that they obviously don't charge her with a bunch of fake stuff and align with people who are far more aligned with Iran, which is how we still have Macron in power, which ironically means that we also have people who are in favor of Iran in power in France and in New York City. I mean, we need to move away from this because it's leading to worldwide chaos. I mean, honestly, what's to stop me from claiming asylum and moving to Switzerland and getting citizenship and getting welfare right now? Our country is at war. They're welcoming all asylum seekers.
We would have some sick behind the scenes.
Yeah,
podcasts.
like that's the thing is like all they do is, I mean, they're in full favor of this. I mean, this is what's going to happen. They're going to accept a lot of asylum seekers from places where there's war, and those people are going to get on welfare, get elected, and then that's how this whole game plan works. And then the powers that would fight these people are aligned with them because those are the elected officials in your country now. I mean, look at the UK, look at France. That's what's happening.
Are you surprised by the market reaction this morning? Like the fact that it's not more severe?
I'm not.
It's pretty severe in bonds. I mean, bonds have round tripped, and they started moving early yesterday, even really before anything really kicked off. And so I'm not surprised by that.
Relative to prior to the ceasefire, where are we on bonds? Pretty much right where we were.
Yeah, so we're right back to a 507 on the 30-year, which is the high point for the auctions.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened. I mean, it basically was done by the middle of the afternoon yesterday.
I personally think the market reaction is probably appropriate. I'm surprised that it is in line with what I would view as appropriate, just because I feel like we've seen much greater whipsaws from the pulse that I get. I think perhaps the muted nature of the response in the equity markets is indicative of the fact that there was quite a bit of skepticism, both on two levels. With one, how big of an impact is this war actually on a lot of these companies? And two, is this a real ceasefire? It's kind of double layered skepticism, I think. There was a lot of talk about why isn't the market down more during the war? And then there was a bit of a rally when the ceasefire came in, but I wouldn't say it was incredibly exaggerated necessarily. I mean, it was kind of in the heart of, we had a lot of other news going on. So I wouldn't say I'm shocked. What are your thoughts?
On one hand, I don't like this market because I do think that we, going into the midterms, I think there's these risks out on the table. I think that the economy is still not, I think rates are too high. So I think there are a lot of factors that I don't love about this market. At the same time, I am actually encouraged that we're only, on a day-over-day basis, we're at 10, 15 basis points higher on the 10-year, which is a big move. But oil's only up 5%. It's only to the mid-70s. And so there's a couple things that I'm thinking about. One is I think the market's kind of tired of dealing with this. To your point, number two is we never really had that big rally on the deal that we were hoping we would get. And then number three, oil is not going higher right now, and transits through the Strait of Hormuz are not as high as they were before the war, but they're higher. I mean, they're like 40 ships a day.
Yeah.
Which is relatively good volume. And so I think on a fundamental basis, like separating the nervousness and scaredy cats from what's actually going on the water on the strait is important. Where we go from here, I think, is the big question. So I do think there's potentially more downside if this escalates into a war. I don't think we're pricing that in yet again. But I think right now this should actually encourage you about the market.
We will get FOMC minutes out today at 2 p.m., Tom. Could be a little bit more noteworthy than normal, just given what we talked about yesterday and the speed and efficacy with which Warsh has kind of changed the MO of the Fed. Do you think it'll be noteworthy?
I think it may be a note. I don't even know. I mean,
Yeah.
This is a new regime where information is power, and
Be sick if the meetings minutes were just like, we met.
they met from
Here's who was in attendance.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. I don't really know what to expect. It's possible because the forward guidance is the thing that Kevin Warsh is so, I guess, his touchstone, that the minutes may not be something he's worried about because, we'll tell you everything we talked about, but we'll tell you a month later. Could be interesting. But I just don't know what's going to come out of it. So I think it's going to be more of a, hey, we'll see what happens and we'll have an idea of what this is going to look like going forward tomorrow. But I really have no idea what the minutes are going to look like.
Do you think they'll include anything on the task forces?
Well, of course, over under on task force, at least one, depending on if one
there's-
per 700 words.
Yeah,
that's
there's-
my over under. But how many words are going to be in the minutes? I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to put a quick bet on the word count of the minutes?
Is that on there? Is that on Kalshi somewhere?
I don't know if it's on Kalshi, but I'm, do we want to do it?
What's the standard word count? Do we have a feel for that?
It's probably
8,000 to 10,000 words.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because usually 5-6 pages.
I'm setting the over under at 5,500 words.
I think I'd take the over. I bet it's significantly shorter, but I think it's still at least 3 pages, if I had to guess.
So the average length of the minutes has risen from just under 4,200 words in 2005 to about 9,500 words in 2016. So it's an over under is 5,500.
Yeah.
Tom's taking the over. I'll take the under just to make it interesting.
But it is. I'll tell you, my biggest complaint about the minutes is the formatting, because they do it like a newspaper, which makes it tough to figure out where you're going on the next page because it's like 4 columns typically, as opposed to just let's just do pages.
And then they do like staff view and staff report and then participant view and then participant decisions.
You're like,
and
I really
it's
don't
like,
care about the underlings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a poorly formatted thing. So maybe they'll move to was it APA, whatever the formatting you had to use in college was.
Yeah, the correct stylization.
Yeah.
All right. Not a whole lot going on other than the war. So we're going to be short today. We'll wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tomorrow Day. So get excited about
Strap in.
And I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.